Hey everyone, in the last video we have learned as how a single neuron will predict the output. So what we have learned is whenever an input data is passed through a neuron, two things takes place, that is summation and then activation, isn't it? Now let's do one thing. Let's improve the complexity of a neurons and then let's predict how the output will be predicted by a deep neural network. So let's consider this time. So let's say I have two neurons like this. So I have a neuron and I'll call it as N1, and this N1 is connected to another neuron as N2. Now just like before, I'll have two inputs for my neuron N1, X1, X2, and this N1 is connected to the N2 neuron, and finally the output will be predicted from my N2 neuron. So I'll call this as a Y hat, which is nothing but the output. Since X1 and X2 are the input, I'll call W1 and W2 are the weights with respect to the inputs X1 and X2. Since each neuron will have its own bias, I'll call B1 as a bias of N1 neuron and B2 as a bias of N2 neuron. Okay. Now, when I say that this is N2 neuron, the input of this neuron is the output from the first neuron. So I'll call H1 as the output from the first neuron, and let's say W3 be the weights with respect to the input which is being received from N1. So W3 is the weights and H1 is the input for N2 neuron. Now, how does this particular Y hat will be calculated? So this is the question. Don't worry guys, the concept is very simple. It is just like what we have learned before. So when a data passes through the neurons, two things takes place: summation and second is activation. First, let's find the output of H1. So to find the output of H1, okay, as I said already, we need an activation function as well, right? So let's say I have the activation of both N1 and N2 as sigmoid activation. So let's consider the activation as sigmoid. So if I say it as sigmoid, it is nothing but 1 over 1 plus e power minus z, where z is nothing but the value that I get after I perform the linear operation. Okay, so this is the activation function that I have for N1 and N2. Now let's predict the Y hat. So to predict the Y hat, first I have to predict the output of N1. So output of N1, as I said, it is H1. So predict the output of N1. First I have to find the value of summation, which is nothing but I'll mention as N1. So for N1, linear operation. So I'll write as linear operation. So when it say it as linear operation for the N1, it is nothing but weighted average of the inputs plus bias term. So I can call as Z1 is equal to X1 W1 plus X2 W2 plus B1. So this is the value that I get after I perform the linear operation on my neuron N1. And the second step, that is activation. So after I perform the activation on this, I can call something as H1 is equal to 1 over 1 plus e power minus Z1. Okay, so H1 is 1 over 1 plus e power minus Z1. Got it? Now let's do one thing. So we have found the H1. Now to find the value of the output of N2 neuron, so I'll write as N2 over here. Now to find the value of output of N2 neuron, two things takes place: linear operation. So when I say it as linear operation, so I have the H1 as input, W3 is its weight, and B2 is the bias. So I can write something as Z2 is equal to H1 W3 plus B2. So this is the resultant of linear operation on the neuron N2. The next thing, what is it? Activation. So activation. So if I perform the activation, what I get? I'll get the Y hat, right? So I can write as Y hat is equal to 1 over 1 plus e power minus Z2. So this is the value of the output of my this entire neuron, that is, this is the value of the output for two neurons. So y hat is equal to 1 over 1 plus e power minus z2, where z2 is nothing but h1w3 plus p2, where h1 is equal to 1 over 1 plus e power minus z1, where z1 is equal to w1 x1 plus w2 x2 plus b1. So this is how we compute the value of a series of neurons which are connected together. So I hope you are clear with this concept, how we find the value of a collection of neurons which are stacked together. So guys, if you have any question on this topic, so please feel free to post it in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you, because this concept, that is linear operation and the activation, are very important parts in deep neural networks. Okay, cool. So now let me do one thing. So let me increase the complexity. So this time, let's say I have a deep neural network or a network which looks like this. So I have two neurons or two inputs, x1 and x2, and this x1 and x2, this time it is connected to two neurons. I'll call them as n11 and n12, and these two neurons are connected to one more neuron I'll call as n2, and from this n2 I'm having the output as y hat. So if I say this as a dense neural network, so n11 is connected to n2, n12 is connected to n2, and both x1 is connected to n1 and n12, and x2 is also connected to n11 and n12. So the weights which are connected to n11, I can call them as, let's say, w1, w11 and w12. So for this I can call them as w21 and w22. So these are the weights, and as we know already, each neuron will have its own bias. So I'll call b11 as the bias term for the n11 neuron, and I'll call b12 as the bias term for n12 neuron. The output generated by n11 neuron, I'll call it as h11, and the output generated by n12 neuron, I'll call it as h12. The weights of h11, I'll call them as, let's say, w21, and let's not call that as w21. So I'll call it as, let's say, w3, and h12 weights as w4. Okay, so we have a dense neural network like this. So I have two inputs, two neurons in the first layer, and on the second layer I'm having a single neuron, and all these neurons is having the activation as sigmoid. Okay, so this is just to keep it simple, and when I say it as sigmoid, I'll write it over here again, 1 over 1 plus e power minus z, where z is nothing but linear operation. Okay, cool. So now let's find the value of this y hat from our neural network. So let's start with finding the value of the output for the neuron n11. Okay, so here n11, so n11, as I said, linear operation. So if I call z11 as a linear operation, it is nothing but w11 x1 plus, what is the other one, w21 x2 plus b11. Okay, and if I find the value of output, so the value of output from n11 neuron is h11, so I can write as h11 is equal to 1 over 1 plus e power minus of z11, where z11 is equal to this value. Okay, cool. So now let me find the value of output for n12 neuron. So if I say it as n12 neuron, two things takes place, that is linear operation and activation. So linear operation is nothing but z12, let me call it as z12. So the respective weights are W12 and W22. So I'll write as W12 x1 plus W22 x2 plus bias term is B12. And if I perform the activation on this Z12, so it is nothing but H12 is equal to 1 over 1 plus e power minus Z12. Okay. Now what is the output for it is N2 now. So for this neuron N2, I'm getting two values. So two values are H11 and H12. So let me open it. Yeah, H11 is the input, H12 is the another input. So I'm getting two inputs, and this itself will have one more bias term. So I'll call it as B2 in this case. So this is the B2 is the bias term. So if I want to compute the value of output for N2, so for N2, I'm getting two inputs, H11 and H12. So I can say as Z2 is equal to H11 plus what is the weights? Yeah, W3 plus H12 into W4 plus B2. This is nothing but the bias term. So y hat is nothing but 1 over 1 plus e power minus Z2. Okay. So in this way, we find the value of the output of a series of neurons which are connected together, guys. Now, if I want to update the value of any of the parameters, let's say H1 or W3, W4, B2, or W11, W21, W12, B11 or B12, we'll find the value of the gradients with respect to each parameter from the loss function. So let's dig more into this mathematical concepts in the upcoming videos. For now, I'll stop the today's class here. Let's continue more from the next video.